Most marketers still waste hours doing brand research, scanning through Reddit posts, Amazon reviews, TikTok videos, and competitor ads one by one. But you don't have to spend tens of hours to find your next winning ad. Yesterday, my automations pulled in 200 plus Reddit posts, 1,000 plus Amazon reviews, and 20 plus viral TikTok videos, all mapped by pain points and desires. As part of my full deep research process, the system I use to turn raw market signals into ads that scale like crazy. Let me show you how it works. All right, we are inside my full deep research SOP doc, and as you can see, the entire flow here is a mix of I guess like more manual research using ChatGPT Deep Research and just like copy and pasting some prompts, and using some of the end-to-end automation workflows that we have inside of Airtable. So let's just go through the entire flow. You guys will see how I start mapping everything out, how we pull some of the lowest hanging fruits in terms of like keywords to scrape, Amazon reviews to scrape, competitors to hit, and so on. So let's just go through it. For the brand I wanted to use as the example, I'm just going to use this IM8 brand. Obviously super hot these days, so I just figured we can use this as a good example. So for step one, right here, we want to start by surfacing our potential competitor brands. So the goal here is to generate a baseline research map that identifies our top competitors, their positioning, and their traction signals. So the first thing that we want to do is copy and paste this pretty in-depth prompt, where the goal is to basically do full deep research around our competitors and get a clear view of their positioning, the avatar of the promise, offers, traction signals, so I can decide where to play and how to differentiate. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in. We're just going to go into ChatGPT right here. We're going to do the deep research function, and I'm going to do for IM8 health right here. See right here that we prioritize brands that sell on their own sites, so like Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, include Amazon Etsy sellers, only have to look like real brands. We can price range. Let's just do, what's the price range here? Let's just do from like maybe $50 to $200 AOV. Then we have a how to find competitors section right here. We have a selection criteria, what to capture for each brand. We have kind of like a prioritization flow right here, and then we have some gaps and opportunities. Then we're just going to paste this in again right here, and then we are going to hit space. Now this is going to be working for a little bit, so I'm just going to open this up in a new tab, and then we can just move on. In the meantime, I'm just going to say, do your best here to get started. Beautiful. Okay, so we're already working there. So I'm just going to do it like this. Next, we're going to do a second deep research on our own product. So for that, we're going to take this prompt right here, where we can see the goal is, or the task is to conduct a comprehensive emotion-based market research study on our product. The goal is to produce an exceptionally detailed report, 25 plus pages of content, that will serve as a foundation for creating a product file playbook. This playbook will be used to extract insights and build marketing and sales strategies for our product. So I'm just going to copy and paste all of this. And again, I'm just going to take the URL right here. We're going to do another deep research. Just tell it to do its best. Beautiful. Okay, so we now have the two kind of like core research docs in progress. Next, we're going to go surface some Amazon products that could be relevant for us to do some research on, and any Reddit keywords that we think we could scrape. Obviously, going through Reddit posts and Amazon reviews are great ways to find pain points, desires, what people are talking about around these problems, like what they dislike, and so on. So we're just going to basically first surface what the relevant products to scrape and what the relevant Reddit posts could be to get that insight. So here we're basically just gonna copy and paste this prompt right here. So this one, the task or the role is to be a market researcher and data miner. The goal is to create a baseline research map for the product category of our product. And then the task is to surface Amazon products to scrape, Reddit keywords or threads to scrape, and then we just have some competitive signals here that they can mention if needed. So we're just going to copy and paste this again. And again, we're just going to do it like this. Beautiful. Lastly, we're going to do 1E, but for this, I want to surface what competitors makes the most sense to scrape. So here we're going to be pulling some of their top performing Facebook ads and get a breakdown of their longest running video ads and the script. But for that, I need to get the 1A deep research completed first. So in the meantime, I'm just going to pause the video. It looks like both are still running, so I'll be back once everything is good to go. All right, we are back, and for whatever reason, deep research on GPT just wasn't working for me today. It was just loading and didn't start. So what I did is I just basically copy and pasted the exact same prompts for the deep research and just took them both to Gemini. So I have them both here as step 1A, as surfacing the potential competitor brands, and you can see that we got a 14-page doc. Usually with GPT, these are like 20 pages plus. That's why I prefer to use GPT's deep research, but for whatever reason it wasn't working, so we're just gonna roll with Gemini. And then we did the same for the deep research on our own product and mapping everything out right here. Then for the 1C part of mapping the Amazon products and Reddit reviews, we just use GPT, and this worked just fine. So we have that mapped in this Google Doc right here. So you can see that we've mapped out some competitor brands, their websites, their core product, and some positioning notes. Then we go down to specific Amazon products to potentially scrape. So we have greens. We have this link right here, raw organic, green juice, Outlive 100, super greens. Beautiful. And then we have some Reddit keywords here mapped by awareness level. So we have some unaware keywords to scrape. We have some problem aware keywords, some solution aware keywords, and some product aware keywords, which is really nice. Then we just have some optional mentions and influencers here. So we have Andrew Huberman, we have this guy, we have women's health coverage of IM8, which is nice. Beautiful. So now we have everything we need to move on to step 1D, which is starting to use some of the automations we've built. So now we're going to start scraping Amazon reviews for some of the competitor products that we surfaced. So in this case, I think I'm just going to choose AG1. I think that's a pretty decent product to scrape for. I don't see them on the list right here. So I'm just going to pull up one of these reviews, doesn't really matter, and then I'm just going to find AG1. Beautiful, we have it right here. Then we're just going to go into our Airtable account where we have all of our scrapers. I can just remove this. And then we're going to go to, where's the Amazon scraper? Beautiful. We have the Amazon scraper right here. So now we're just going to do deep research IM8. We're just going to call this AG1. Oh. Just want to make sure I get the right URL here. And I'm just going to scrape 100 reviews. We don't really scrape a ton. Boom. We got that. We can see that we have this one running, and then I'm just going to wait for the analysis to pull through. So I'll be back in a second. All right, we are back, and we can see that the flow has been completed. And then if we go under analysis right here, you can see that we have the product URL, and then we have the research doc, and then we also have the scraped reviews. So we have a full list of all of the reviews that we scraped right here. And then we also have the analysis where we have these reviews scraped. In this case, it looks like it just pulled in 60 for some reason. Maybe it only, out of the 100 we scraped, 40 of them were deemed pretty irrelevant, so we skipped them. We then pulled in the top 10 themes mentioned, the top 20 keywords pulled. We go through a frequency table here in terms of like the themes and like the counts and how many times that specific theme was mentioned, plus a representative quote. We then go through a quote bank here of verbatim mentioned topics from the reviews. So we have like some before use, some solutions tried, results, some needs and desires mentioned, any fears and objections, any triggers to buy, metaphors, some language patterns, a solutions tried matrix in terms of like any other solutions or brands or protocols they've tried, the reason they tried it, the outcome, any side effects, and the sentiment of that solution. Then we just go into some more needs, desires, fears, objections, and barriers mentioned. Then we just go into some add ready building blocks that could be pulled verbatim. So we have some hooks here, we have some problem lines, we have some proof insight lines, some CTA lines, and then we just have the sources at the bottom, which in this case is just the reviews from that product. Then we obviously have all of the reviews scraped. So I'm just going to save these for later. So I'm just going to call this, yeah, this is fine. I'm just going to download this as CSV. I'm just going to open this and call this IM8, Amazon Research, and then I'm just going to download that as a PDF for later reference. And here's the end-to-end flow, just to kind of quickly show you. So we grab the search request from Airtable via a webhook. We pass that into Appify, which is our Amazon scraper in this case. We then just pull the 100 reviews, we aggregate the data. One, we filter them out into the Google Sheet right here. And then two, we just pass all of the reviews into the AI agent, which role is to be a Amazon VOC miner. The job is to extract first-person customer language and ranked insights that copywriters can paste directly into ads and scripts. Then we just go through kind of like the output in terms of like how we want the actual report to be. We then just turn that into a markdown file, which we then pass into a Google Doc, and then we just update that back into Airtable, which is what we have right here. So that's Amazon. Beautiful. We have this. We can just go out of that. We can go out of here now as well. We don't need to save this. Moving on to step 1E is mapping out some of our competitors' longest running Facebook ads. So for that, I am going to pull up AG1's Facebook page. I am going to grab their Facebook page ID. First, I just want to validate that we can actually scrape their ad library, because sometimes for whatever reason it doesn't work. AG1, we're just going to hit validate. Then I'm just going to confirm that this will work, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we weren't able to pull any ads from AG1, so what I did instead is I went and found one of the other competitors that we surfaced in the deep research analysis as Bloom Nutrition. So we can scrape their ads, confirmed by the scraper right here. So I'm going to go in and paste in there add page ID. We're just going to do Bloom. Going to do create, and then we're going to do start research. This triggered the second flow, which is the Facebook ad library scraper. So we should see this pop up here any second as running. There we go. Beautiful. This is probably going to take a couple of minutes, but the flow will then surface their longest running video ads, and then we'll break down the scripts. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, we are back. That took about just under 7 minutes. Just quickly walk through the flow here, but what we essentially are doing here is that we are pulling the Facebook page ID from Airtable. We are passing that into Foreplay and using their API to pull the longest running ads. We are then basically just sorting by longest running and pulling the top 5 ads, which we then pass into Google Gemini to do a analysis on the visuals in the video and in the transcript using DeepGram. We then take both those analysis and pass them into the main AI node here, which is acting as a senior direct response copy chief trained by top advertisers. The job is to analyze winning ads and reverse engineer the structure, the persuasive flow, and the psychological techniques. When we send it a script, the AI is to perform the following: preserve every line exactly as written, label each line using bracketed tags based on its persuasive function, then diagnose why it works, and then reference the framework like this. And then we just have an output format here at the bottom, and then some examples of like what good output looks like. Then as usual, we just map everything as a markdown file and then a Google Doc, and then pass that back into Airtable, which looks like this, where we have the finished report here. So you can see that we have the top 5 longest running scraped ads by Bloom. So if I just open up this first one.
New Costco finds this week. Get ready to elevate your greens game with Bloom Strawberry.
And then we just do a quick analysis on the awareness level, the angle, the target audience, and then we just do a analysis on the script. Obviously this one wasn't super long. This was just like a very short ad, so not really much of a script to analyze, but we still kind of like go into an analysis on why the script works, the big idea, identity resonance, the unique mechanism, scarcity and urgency, and then social proof. And then we just do the same thing for all of their top 5.
New Costco finds this week.
That just is probably an iteration. And then for, let's just do number 3.
Here's the one thing I never leave the house without. I am constantly running out of the door, but you will never catch me without style or my Bloom gummies. The individual pack.
Cool. Script at number 4. Okay, more of a GIF style. Yeah, that makes sense. As we don't have a transcript here, that's fine. And then 4 scraped at number 5.
These are the 3 biggest things I've noticed since taking these gummies every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then you can see right here we have the hook. Then we have the analysis here. Then we just go line by line and break down the script here. And then again, why the script is working. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to download this. IM8, download. Beautiful. All right, we have that done. We have the top running ads. Now we can go into scraping some Reddit threads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the analysis we did on Reddit post, and let's just do some problem aware keywords right here. So let's just do, let's see what we got. Actually, maybe some unaware keywords would be good. Let's do constant bloating after meals. I think that's a pretty nice and broad keyword. In that case, we go back into Airtable. We find our Reddit scraper. Let's just do 50 posts, and then we will hit that. And we can see that the flow is now running here in a second. As usual, I will be back once this is done. Actually, notice I used the wrong scraper, but we are back and we have the flow running right now. We can see that it is running inside of n8n for the bloating keyword, constant bloating after meals. So this will probably run for a couple of minutes, and then I will be back again. Beautiful, we are back, and just quickly going through the and event flow here, what we essentially do is we grab the search request from Airtable, which in this case was a keyword. We then grab all of the posts associated with that keyword. We grab all of the comments as well. We parse those together and pass them into the AI agent, which in this case is acting as a Reddit VOC miner. Again, similar to the Amazon one, the job is to extract first-person language and ranked insights that copywriters can paste directly into scripts. Then we just tell it what to scan for, what to include, the extraction checklist, and then we just map that as a markdown file into a Google Doc link, and then we pass that back into Airtable, which looks like this, where we have some of the top concepts mapped. We have some of the top hooks with all of these source links as well. If we want to double check, we have some problem solution mapping here in terms of what the problem is, the solution angle, and some proof. We then have some creative angles to test, some sample hooks and overlays, and then some big win test ideas at the end. We also have some recurring brands here mentioned at the bottom. If there are any insights here, we can take that with us as well. Beautiful. I'm just going to open this up, and I'm just going to call this IM8 Reddit research, and then we are going to download that as a PDF. Okay, going back to the original SOP, we've now done 1A. We have the deep research for our competition. We've done deep research on our own brand. We've surfaced Amazon products to scrape and Reddit keywords to scrape. Obviously, if I was to do this fully, I would run the scraper for multiple Amazon products, and I do this for multiple keywords as well for different awareness levels, so you kind of like get a more holistic overview of what's going on. I just did this for one product and for one keyword for one awareness level, but I'd obviously want to do this for multiple if it was for a real brand or client. We've also then scraped Amazon reviews for that said product. We have pulled the top running ads for one of our competitors. Again, if I was doing this for real, I'd probably run through at least another 3 or 4 competitors and grabbing their top scripts and video ads as well. And now we have also scraped some Reddit threads around one of the keywords that we wanted to scrape. Now we go back to step 2, which is starting to extract data from all of the insights from all of the data that we've scraped. So the first thing that we want to do is extract some data from our deep competitor research. So what we are going to do is pull up this, and we are going to basically pull the 80/20 insights from the deep research we did and pull that into kind of like a more actionable report. So I'm just going to open up ChatGPT. I'm going to open up a new chat. I'm going to upload the deep research competitor doc with this prompt. Oh, I actually made a mistake here. The first step is actually extracting insights from our Amazon reviews. So I'm basically just going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to copy and paste the prompt right here. And I'm just going to upload the raw Amazon reviews, and I'm going to upload the research doc. Okay, beautiful. And then I'm going to let this run. Beautiful. We are back, and we can see that we are now mapping out some key customer avatars right here. So we have the gut fix seeker, we have the convenience maximalist, we have the performance and clarity optimizer, flavor and texture sensitive newbie. Interesting. Now we're going into mapping pain and desire angles by intensity, also by TAM, some snippets, what the awareness stage could be, and then any notes. Then we're mapping out some high leverage hooks. Some conversion insights. The competitive gaps. and then a strategy snapshot. Okay, that is now complete. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Just going to remove this here at the bottom. We have this mapped as 2A, extract angles from Amazon reviews. Beautiful. I am going to download this as a PDF. You can go out of that. Next, we are now going to run the analysis of our ad library report. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go back, then I am going to go into the ad library research and paste in this prompt right here. Okay, so we mapped out some hook patterns here. We mapped out some emotional drivers, some structure patterns, some key phrases and language, some opportunity angles, and that's it. So I'm just going to go in. We are just going to call this IMA 2B. We're going to save that. Then moving on to 2C, we are now going to do the 80-20 on our own deep research to get the highest leveraged insights. Back to ChatGPT. I'm going to upload the deep research file from our own product. Beautiful. You can see that we have kind of like a high confidence here on the insights because we have a rich triangulation across Reddit, Amazon, and competitor profiles, some direct quotes and citations. So we know that kind of like we're not just hallucinating here in terms of like what we're suggesting. So we go into some competitor weaknesses in a matrix. So we have the brand, we have the weakness category, we have the specific issue. We have some evidence snippets based on what we scraped. We have a severity, and then we have some notes here. Then we do this for some of the top ranked competitors. Then we go into some pain drivers here. Then we go into some market opportunity scoring. So you can see that we have like underdosed, all-in-ones, proprietary blends, placebo level results, overpriced, choice overload, market-wide distrust. Then we go into mapping some awareness levels right here, so we can have kind of like what the problem or the issue is, what awareness stage that could be, the evidence phrase for this, and then the implication on the messaging. Then we go into what angles we could potentially select. So we have kind of like the angle here, clinically dosed, actually works, what the awareness level is, what we should emphasize, what we should mitigate, what kind of proof is needed, and the risk. And then we just have some evidence pointers here at the bottom. Again, I'm just going to paste this into another Google Doc. I'm just going to call this, this was 2C. And again, we're going to save this and download. And then we're going to pull some insights from the Reddit threads here. So again, we can just open up this prompt right here, which is going to be receiving a analysis of Reddit discussions, meta layer summary, not raw Reddit posts. So we're going to copy and paste this, go back into ChatGPT. We're going to upload the Reddit research doc right here and do a kind of like, again, an 80-20 analysis on the research. Okay, we are going into some competitor weaknesses here in terms of category, the issue, the evidence, and the source reference post right here where we actually got the scraped output. Some pain drivers, some market opportunity scoring, same again, the awareness stage mapping right here, some angle recommendations, and then the evidence pointers. Again, I'm just going to copy and paste this into 2D. And I'm going to save this. And move on. Now we're going to step 3. And now we're taking all of the data that we have extracted, all of the insights that we have extracted from the deep research. And now we are going to turn this into specific angles to target. So we want to take all of our insights and rank and theorize into what will be the most fruitful angles, avatars, and problems to target. And we're going to use this framework to do this based on ranking the market size, how universal is it, the emotional pull, and product congruence, and actually analyze if our product or mechanism solves those issues. So we're just going to set up a new chat right here with this prompt, tell it to be a DTC market strategist and direct response analyst. The input is going to be multiple structured research data sets already analyzed by humans, and then just kind of like Reddit analysis, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Task is to synthesize all of the inputs to identify, rank, and theorize the most fruitful angles, avatars, problems to target for marketing and product positioning. Let's just copy and paste this. We are going to open up a new chat. And now I'm going to upload all of our step 2 docs. So we have step 2A, B, C, and D, those 4. Let's see how it does. Okay, you can see that we have the data scope here and the confidence level. Overall confidence is high. We have a clear triangulation across Reddit, Amazon, and ad patterns, consistent VOC themes, dosage, transparency, simplicity, and taste. Beautiful. We then start going through a unified opportunity matrix where we start ranking by, again, the market size, the emotional pull, and our product congruence, what the highest leverage or lowest hanging fruits in terms of opportunity, angles, avatars, and problems could be. So in this case, the number 1 ranked opportunity here is gut relief fast, GERD or bloat. We have the evidence summary right here. So reflux subsided by week 1, strong life impact, pain and relief. Some key sources here from Amazon avatars and angles and the Reddit pain drivers. For number 2, clinically dosed and transparent anti-proprietary blend. We have the market size, we have the emotional pull, and product congruence. This one's a little bit low, so I'd probably skip this one. I'd probably want to keep it at a 4 or above. 1 scoop simplicity. Desire to replace concoction pills with 1 daily ritual. That's cool. Then we go into the top avatars here. So we have the gut fix seeker, the convenience maximalist, the performance and clarity optimizer, then the transparency hawk, skeptical value buyer. Then we've mapped the top key problems and pains. So most of the solutions are ineffective, generic solutions, hopelessness, and churn. Nothing really worked. They tried everything. Protocol complexity and decision fatigue. They're overwhelmed by conflicting advice, desire for fewer steps, and consistent routines. This is obviously very, very important. Transparency and safety anxiety, so like hidden doses, surprise formula changes, okay. Price and value friction, taste mixability barriers, fear of harsh interventions, okay. We have some strategic insights here. We have some recommended go-to market angles. So we have the angle name, we have the primary avatar, the core claim, the key proof needed here, what the awareness stage could potentially be, and then the suggested channels to actually run this. Then we just have the evidence pointers here again at the bottom. Cool. I'm just going to map this in step 3. Then we move on to step 4, where we now start mapping the lowest hanging customers in terms of awareness level. So here we want to start mapping the top awareness levels to hit and decide which one again, is the lowest hanging fruit or has the highest opportunity to convert for us. So here we just have the prompt being that based on everything we've discussed so far, the research data, the ranked angles, the avatars, the problems, map the opportunities to customer awarenesses, and identify the fastest to convert segments. Okay. So you can see right here that we have the awareness mapping and quick win segments. The top one, according to all the research we've done in this case, is clinically dosed and 100% transparent. So we want to go after the transparency hawk or the skeptical value buyer. The awareness level here is product aware. We have the evidence phrase. And then we have why it is a quick win. They already know the category. They are looking for a trustworthy brand. They're high intent, minimal education is needed beyond proof, and some visuals. Second, we have the gut relief fast, the gut fix seeker. They're more of a solution aware audience. They have a strong pain and a clear category familiarity. They just need some proof and testimonials more than overall category education. So ideal for fast UGC tests. Third, we have the one scoop replaces the countertop, convenience maximalist. Again, solution aware audience. They're already using multiple supplement stacks. The conversion friction is low because we can just have them see this as a simplicity or value framed option where they have everything in one scoop. Cool. Those are the top 4 quick win segments. I'm just going to map that in step 4. Then we go into step 5, which is mechanism mapping. So now we are starting to basically analyze the problems the market is talking about and then tie our mechanism into that solution. So you can see right here, again, based on everything we've discussed so far and using the document that explains our product's unique mechanism, perform the mechanism mapping. For each top angle avatar problem already identified in the chat, create a concise mechanism sentence that clearly bridges the problem with our unique mechanism and then into the solution. Then we just have some examples right here, and then we just keep the mechanism sentence short. Okay. Now I haven't mapped what the unique mechanism for IMATE is, so I'm just going to paste this and see what it comes back with. Okay, we are now mapping the mechanism against the angle, avatar, and problem. So here we have the gut relief, fast, gut fix seeker. We have the mechanism sentence. So because gut discomfort and reflux stem from stress, inflamed digestion, and weak microbial diversity, our formula's gut stress fatigue mechanism uses clinically backed strains plus adaptogens to calm the gut-brain axis and restore balance. So relief appears within the first week. Pretty strong. Not the best unique mechanism, but decent, I'd definitely say. Number 2, clinically dosed. Because most blends hide sub-effective doses, our lists every milligram at clinical strength and links to peer-reviewed studies so customers know exactly what's working and feel measurable effects instead of placebo. Okay, you're kind of like just attacking it directly. The objection, not really a unique mechanism per se. These are just more objection handlers. So let's see. Okay, this is fine. But I don't feel like these are strong enough. These are just more objections. I feel like these are just more objection handling responses versus actual. Let's see how this does. Okay, this looks a lot better. Because chronic reflux and bloating stem from the gut stress fatigue loop, iMate's root cause fix mechanism stabilizes the gut-brain axis through targeted probiotics and adaptogenic nutrients that calm inflammation and restore digestive rhythm. Better. Because most all-in-one blends hide weak doses, iMate's clinical dose protocol discloses every mg at research-backed strength and links to published studies. Okay, this one's still more of like an objection handler. That's fine. Because juggling 6 to 8 pills a day causes fatigue and inconsistency, iMate's smart simplification system compresses clinically active nutrients from gut energy and 4 focus categories into one synergistic matrix. This one is decent. Again, not really a unique mechanism per se, but still fine. Because most green drinks feel great and medicinal, iMate's employs a flavor-forward granular system, ultra-soluble particles, and natural flavor layering that dissolve cleanly in 30 seconds. Okay, some decent, unique mechanisms here. Not the best, but this is probably just more on me actually not kind of like explaining how to rank what a unique mechanism is and actually what iMate's unique mechanism actually is as well. That's fine. We have this here. Moving on to step 6. Now we could potentially pull 2 to 3 winning ad structures from the ad library. And then the goal here is to match the best structures to each of the angles that we have mapped out so far. So I'm just going to pull 2 of the scripts that we pulled earlier, and then I'm going to paste them into ChatGPT. Okay, I just pulled 2 scripts from some long or high performing ads. So now I'm just going to go back. We're just going to copy and paste them in. And then we are going to do the prompt right here. Based on everything we've discussed so far and using the document of our winning ads, match the ad structure that I've already performed to new high priority angles, avatars, and problems identified. Cool. All right, we have the angle, the avatar, and the problem. We have the recommended winning ad structure, why it fits, and then the suggested adaptions. Beautiful. This looks really good. So we have a ton of strong structures here to work off. So I'm just going to do this. iMate step 6. And now for the final step is basically to start briefing in and writing some actual ads. So we can just go, okay, great. Based on everything, let's start writing some ad scripts. Let's do 3 variations. Okay. We just mapped out a couple of ads here. So we have ad number 1, got really fast. We have the structure, so problem, lie, the root cause reframe, mechanism reveal, proof, and then the call to action. What the awareness level here is between kind of like a mix of problem and solution aware, and what the avatar is. So we have the hook with the voiceover and the on-screen text for each section. So we have the number 1 lie about gut health, that it's just about probiotics. The truth is most gut issues start with stress and fatigue, not just what you eat. iMate's root cause fix mechanism. Okay, this part wasn't really that strong. Calms the gut-brain axis and restores your microbiome balance at the same time. This part is good. With clinically backed probiotics and adaptogens, users start noticing relief in as little as a week. Okay, strong. No harsh cleanses, guesswork, just results you can actually feel. Fix the root, feel the difference. Decent. At number 2, clinically dosed and 100% transparent. We have the structure, the awareness level, and the avatar. Here's what most all-in-one supplements don't want you to know. They hide underdosed ingredients behind proprietary blends. iMate is different. We list every milligram at research-backed strength, no secrets. Every ingredient in iMate is supported by real clinical studies. You can verify every dose yourself. Because when you're serious about your health, transparency shouldn't be optional. It should be the standard. Clinically dosed, fully transparent. Decent. Then for ad number 3, OneScoop replaces the countertop. We have the same structure, awareness level, and avatar mapping right here. And then we have the voiceover, 3 reasons I ditched my morning pill pile for I am 8. Number 1, simplicity. OneScoop replaces 7 different supplements. Number 2, consistency. And number 3, results. Better digestion, more energy, and sharper focus within days. I am 8 makes my morning routine effortless, and it actually works. OneScoop, all systems on. Again, pretty decent. And this was just from 2 ads or ad structures that I copied in. Obviously, like, the more we can feed it, the better. But again, the goal here is basically to just go from product to full deep research within what this took probably just under an hour for me to map everything out. And now we can just start scripting in. We can start adding in more examples of other ads if we want to model. It just depends on kind of like how we want to go from here. But yeah, I think you guys get a clear picture now of how we can start from mapping out at a very deep level competitor brands and where the gap in positioning for your product or brand could be. You also do a very deep research here on your own product, just to kind of like do a very comprehensive market research and analysis. Then we start surfacing some Amazon products and Reddit keywords to scrape for. We then went through and actually scraped all of the Amazon reviews for a specific product. We did that for the Reddit post as well for a specific keyword. We then also mapped out some of the competitor ads and pulled the top 5 longest running ads for one of the competitors we mapped or surfaced. Then we started extracting all of the data from we started extracting insights from all the data. So we did this for Amazon reviews. We did this for the ad library or the ads that we scraped. We did this for the deep research that we did on our own product and from the Reddit post that we scraped. Then we can start turning this into angles to target. Then we go into the lowest hanging customers in terms of awareness levels and which one have the highest opportunity of converting for us. Then we start mapping the mechanism and how we can tie our mechanism into the problems that the market is discussing. Then we just map the top ad structures and then we start running the ads. And that's the entire deep research SOP. So again, this took me probably a little bit over an hour in total, including waiting for the deep research in step 1 to run. So the time it takes to kind of like get a really, really strong and in-depth and very specific level of research is honestly pretty crazy. So yeah, I know we went over a lot here. This is probably by far my longest video I've posted, but yeah, again, I just really hope this showcases what's possible with the mix, again, of like using some automations and AI, more manual AI workflows, just like using basic ChatGPT and some prompts. So with that said, hope this video was super helpful. I appreciate it. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to drop them below. Happy to chat more. But again, hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.